when I started mental health campaigning, one of my first campaigns was actually to get mental health training part of teacher training, so that teachers were taught about mental health as part of their teacher training for a number of reasons. Firstly, before that, teachers that were going through teacher training didn't actually receive any education about what mental health was. And yet, we're seeing 200 school-age children die from suicide every year. We're seeing hundreds of thousands of cases of self-harm within schools. And so for me, it didn't make sense for teachers not to be trained in being able to identify that and then signpost those students. But also, teachers have a very, very stressful job. And I certainly didn't give teachers enough credit when I was at school. Now I'm looking back on it and I've got friends of mine that are teachers. I'm like, oh my God, that's a huge amount of work. And actually, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I think actually we need to look at how we better support teachers. And one of the best ways we can support teachers, and what we found through mental health first aid courses, is actually the people sitting those courses end up actually improving their own mental health by what they're learning. So for me, teaching teachers how they can look after their students' mental health, how they can look after their mental health themselves, I think is absolutely fantastic. But also it's the conversation. Vulnerability is infectious. And if you can have people within a school environment actually stand up and be vulnerable, then the whole atmosphere, the whole environment changes. And suddenly there's no stigma anymore. It knocks down those barriers that stop people from having those conversations and stop people from feeling like they can talk about their mental health. So there's a whole host of things we can do, but I definitely still think the fact that teachers aren't trained at all or taught about mental health at all before they become teachers, I think is a missed trick.